Pompeii is a famous city in Italy. It's known for its impressive civilization before Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, and the malaria outbreak in 1740, which killed many residents. In later years, Pompeii declined and was seen as dirty, poor, and immoral, with rampant crime and strong occult influences. However, God never abandoned his children. This unlikely place was chosen to show his mercy. Bartolo Longo was born into a devout Catholic family in the small town of Latiano, near Brindisi, in southern Italy, on February 10, 1841. He was lively and sometimes mischievous, but very intelligent and friendly. At age 10, his mother died, leaving him lost. Bartolo studied law at the University of Naples during a time when there were efforts to remove papal influence from Italy. Seeking life's meaning, he got involved in popular political movements and occultism among students. Due to his involvement with satanic groups, Bartolo aimed to become a satanic priest. He underwent long preparations like study and harsh fasting until he became skin and bones. On the night of his ordination as a satanic priest, it's said that thunder shook the church walls amid blasphemous screams in the air. Bartolo fainted from fear and suffered physically, but continued preaching as a Satanist leader by leading rituals while openly mocking priests, including monks alongside Pope plus Catholic Church itself. The more Bartolo experimented with dark powers, the deeper he fell into despair and satanic obsession. His life was marked by extreme depression, fear, hate, confusion, and anxiety. He suffered greatly as his health declined until he experienced mental issues. His family tried to persuade him to repent but failed. They began praying for Bartolo and sought help from anyone who could assist. In his darkest moments, Bartolo heard his late father's voice saying, "Return to God, return to God." A devout professor named Vincenzo Pepe met with Bartolo asking if he wanted to die in a mental hospital and be damned forever. The professor convinced him back towards faith, urging him meet Dominican priest Father Alberto Redente. For 3 weeks, Bartolo studied Catholic faith in detail, including writings by St. Thomas Aquinas. After much learning, prayer, and a long confession, he returned to the church on the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus in 1865. He received Holy Communion as if it were his first communion again, and gained courage to change his life. As penance for his sins, Bartolo worked at Neapolitan Hospital and became a lay Dominican on March 25th, during Annunciation Day in 1871. To end ties with Satanism permanently, he attended one last occult meeting, holding rosary saying, "I leave these spiritualism things because they are vanity, a path of delusion." He then went to student parties plus cafes, denouncing satanic groups while declaring faith towards Catholic Church, an act brave given its oppression back then. He considered becoming a priest, but was advised against it by friends and spiritual guides. After a retreat, he decided not to marry, dedicating himself fully to God and Mary. Despite his efforts to amend past mistakes, Bartolo felt guilty and unforgiven by God. On October 9, 1872, while handling legal matters in Pompeii, he saw poverty and moral decay with occult reliance. Remembering his satanic priesthood days made him fear eternal damnation as Satan's slave. In despair, nearly leading to suicide, suddenly heard Mary's words, "Those who spread my rosary will be saved." This enlightened him. "Nilu, let me be saved through your rosary. I won't leave until spreading it." Church bells rang loudly, marking Bartolo's promise. Bartolo Longo acted quickly. In Pompeii, he used his own money to host a Holy Rosary festival to gain public attention. After the last festival, there was no faith or piety growth, so Bartolo formed a Rosary Brotherhood. Through this community, he taught catechism and organized renovations for an old church while raising funds for an altar dedicated to Our Lady of the Rosary. He also wrote books on the Rosary and created novenas plus prayer guides. The building of the Basilica of Our Lady of Pompeii and its accompanying miracles will be discussed in Part 2. In all his work, Bartolo Longo was assisted by a wealthy young widow, Countess Mariana di Fusco. When malicious rumors spread about their relationship, they consulted Pope Leo XIII, a rosary devotee. He advised them to marry to silence gossip. On April 7, 1885, they wed and lived celibately as siblings, while continuing charitable works until the Countess's death in 1924. Bartolo tirelessly founded Dominican nun communities for orphan education and brought brothers for boys' schooling. He urged catechism study and pushed for papal approval of Mary's Assumption doctrine. After 50 years of hard work with his wife, Bartolo faced slander over fund mismanagement. He endured this patiently and was eventually cleared of all charges. In 1906, he handed over all management and personal assets to the Holy See. He assisted the new administration head while humbly working in the city he built. Bartolo continued at Our Lady of Pompeii Basilica until age 85, promoting rosary prayer and confessing twice weekly. His prayers grew so intense that one observer noted seeing him with arms outstretched, eyes fixed on heaven or Mary's image, unaware of others around him. Yes, but not as she is in heaven. During his final hours on October 5, 1926, surrounded by beloved orphans, praying rosary said, "My only wish is to see Mary who saved me from Satan's grasp," were his last words. On October 26, 1980, Pope John Paul II declared Bartolo Longo as blessed, calling him the Man of Mary and Apostle of the Rosary. Bartolo emphasized that contemplating Jesus' life deepens our friendship with God. This friendship helps us grow in virtues exemplified by God and Mary. Inspired by how Bartolo contemplated Jesus' entire life, including public ministry, miracles, teachings, Pope John Paul II added luminous mysteries to the Rosary. On February 25, 2025, Pope Francis approved Blessed Bartolo Longo's canonization as a saint. His story reminds us that God's mercy reaches all sinners, even those seemingly hopeless or far from Him. May his story inspire prayers for those bound by dark powers or suffering mental plus physical decline.